Okay, for this video, I wanted to address the question I get very frequently, which is, do I still have to file an 1120S S Corporation return if the entity had no activity for the year? So this very often happens when somebody sets up a company, but they never actually do anything with it. And the short answer is absolutely yes. You still have to file the 1120S even if there was no activity for the year. And so what I've got here is just the rules and the form instructions just to prove to you why this is necessary and an example of where the IRS will still assess penalties even if there's nothing going on in the return. So the baseline for these filing obligations is we look at Internal Revenue Code section 6037A. Right? So if we look at this IRC section, it says that every S Corp shall make a return for each taxable year, stating specifically the items of gross income and deductions allowable under sub A, names and addresses of all persons owning stock at any time, number of shares, so these are the K1s, right? The amount of money and other property distributed by the Corp during the year to the shareholders, the dates of distributions, each shareholder's pro rata share of each item of the corporation for the year, and all such other information for the purpose of carrying out subchapter S, right? A lot of words in there, but what they're effectively saying is, look, if you're an active business and you have an active S corporation election, meaning it's still legally existing under state law, you've got to be filing a tax return, right? IRC section 6072 states that partnerships and S corps must file this on or before the 15th day of March, following the close of the calendar year, right? So S corps are typically on a calendar year. It's possible to change it. I've seen some June 30 year ends, but the point here is you've got two and a half months following the close of the tax year to file the return. And then if we look at the Form 1120S instructions themselves, they provide a little more clarity as well. It says that the corporation must file this 1120S if it elected to be an S corp, the IRS accepted the election, and the election remains in effect, right? And notice how in all of this, there is no carve out for an S corp that has no business activity. So if you claim the entity is dormant, you still have to file an 1120S. You probably should be filing an 1120S and marking it as final to close out the company, right? But you still have to do the 1120S filing. So if we look at an example here, this is what I see all the time. We have John here, creates a Florida LLC, immediately files an S election, right? 2553. The IRS approves the election. John gets his confirmation. Now John decides later on, oh well, actually I'm not going to do anything with this LLC. And so the only expenses for the year was that $125 filing fee to the state of Florida. He earned no income, had no other expenses, nothing. Still has to file, right? Under the rules, you still have to file the 1120S, even given this fact pattern. Now, what are the late filing penalties? Well, these are brutal. The late filing penalties for S corps, you're looking at $205 per shareholder per month a return is late. So in John's example, if he files the return late, let's say he forgets it for 2 years. He files the return late, it's 12 months late, times $205. So you can see how this penalty grows fairly quickly, particularly if you have other shareholders. Imagine a 3 shareholder company that files a return 7 months late. You're looking at 3 shareholders times 205, so what is that? $615 times however many months it's late. The penalty can be quite severe. So, short answer again, just to recap, you got to file the return. You know, if the business is closed out, file the return, mark it final, dissolve the entity, do everything you need to get this closed out. Because the last thing you want to have happen is the IRS send you a letter 2 years later saying, hey, we never got the return, so here's a 12-month penalty times 205 times however many shareholders there are, cut us a check. Okay, so that covers it. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next video. Thank you.